Woo-hoo-hoo. How are you? Ay, 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 trick or treat. It's a Halloween. I can't say nightmare, but I will say it is a trick or treat. And it's a treat to be able to go live. And then it's a trick when it shuts off. So if you're wondering where we're at, we are on Gemini. And you'll have to go back and look over the other videos. I'm going to be doing divination readings for each sign until the end of the year. So that's going to be my treat for you. And then if you have any questions that you'd like to me or like me to answer, you can email me, GLoLady, GLoLady, at protonmail.com. So, Gemini, what's going on for you until the end of the year? Well, I can see that there might be some things by the end of the year that you are ready to put behind you. We have Mars in there, and Mars is what we call retrograde. And Mars is going to be in Gemini until March. So Mars is action, war, aggression, and Gemini can be a split, good, evil. Who am I listening to? Which one on my shoulder am I listening to? And then you have Gemini, and they kind of battle each other, even worse than usual. So, you're going to have to, and I really shouldn't say you're going to have to. Please excuse me for saying you're going to have to, because I cannot make you, and no one can make you do anything that you do not want to do. So I am going to only suggest what would be an easier, softer way of doing things and learning from others' mistakes, or even mistakes that you may have made, and the multiple mistakes that you may have made. It is time to learn from them. And whether by force or whether by acceptance, that is your free will. And yeah, we know Gemini don't like people to tell them what to do or how to think, because they think they know it all. Kind of like the Aquarius who do know it all. Okay, let's see what we got going. And these are divination readings for the sign of Gemini until the end of the year. And what kind of planetary aspects above are affecting the human being below who walk the earthly plane, trying to be a human and forgetting that they are spiritual beings having a human experience. And right now we have a lot of AI. So, let's see, what do we got going on here? Gemini, besides what I just got done talking to you about. And oh yeah, there we had some changes. And that most definitely was right in around there when there was a hurricane in Florida. And a lot of fixing up and doing things in the home. And that was kind of distracting away from the fun, creativity, sex, children. Or were you actually acting like a child during that time? During October, having fun, enjoying life, and seeing that there is more to life. That's important. There is more to life than material possessions, and learning to be true to yourself is one of the greatest possessions that you could ever hope to have and to accomplish. So when the health factor, things that you could possibly be hiding from yourself or from others, that you cannot hide from others anymore, coming up in November. It's always best to lay the cards on the table, especially when you're dealing with relationships. And if you are working with 4 partnerships that are highlighted in November, always remember to say what you mean what you say, don't say it mean, and make sure you say it sober. Because if you don't say it sober, then that Gemini, which little angel or devil are you speaking of from? And remember that it is called spirits for a reason. So when you tip the bottle, just remember that it is spirits that you are putting inside of you. And don't wonder when you had that one too many and those spirits took over. So, I'm sure you know of someone who was possessed by spirits at some point. As much as alcohol is an acceptable evil in society. And we shall let it at that. I can't say an evil other than people really are not educated as to the evil spirit formations in the distilled spirits that we tend to ingest too much of sometimes. some of us do, and not saying that all of us do, because some of us do conquer our demons. And just remember, it's not the drinking, it's the thinking. And just because you quit drinking does not necessarily mean that you will still think in the same manner, and rather that you should not. Because when we tend to put spirits in, it is a selfish type of, and we're used to the I, self, and me. And that's not the way to be. I mean, yes, I self and we, as in a divine, orderly conscience that also helps to guide us in making decisions that we really need to do. And that's a biggie. So, Gemini, bottoms up to a new start. But which way do you want to start? If it is old behavior, old patterns, well, what if you learned? Because what you have learned will come back and bite your butt if you haven't learned that there are certain proper procedures that need to be taken, as in you need to crawl before you can walk. So learn what you need to know before you jump in the deep end when there's piranhas out there and you don't have a life preserver or someone to save you. So remember that, Gemini. Who do you have around you? Who can you trust? And are you also trustworthy of that trust? And always remember to thank them for helping you with your career aspirations. And you have a chance of new things happening. And what you really want to do and what you need to do is possible, but you have to put your nose to the grindstone. And by December, you will understand that you will have to make a decision. So, and it's a big decision. If you haven't learned from your mistakes, you're bound to repeat them. And really, who wants to keep repeating the same old mistakes? I don't know. I enjoy learning, and it might have taken me a while to learn from my mistakes, but I hope that I've learned them well and that I can share my experience in how it would have been much easier to do things a different way.